Shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. I want to give all glory, all honor, and all praises unto the Most High Heavenly Father, who have established this moment. And I want to give a barakatah amongst all of those who are being diligent inside of this truth, and they're doing the best that they can in keeping the commandments of the Most High Heavenly Fathers, as well as carrying on the faith of the Hamashiach Yahushai, who is the Malak. And as I always make it known, it's all about the kingdom, baby. So all glory, all honor, and all praises be unto the Most High Heavenly Father. So I want to share this video. I know it's been a while and everything. About like 7 days right now. But the reason for that, is because YouTube had blocked me. They banned me for 7 days. Because of, what they try to bring out. They try to stop a lot of the information from going out, reaching the masses, but more so predominantly towards the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because we know the real depopulation agenda is set up against, our people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who are the real Hebrew Israelites, right? But this video right here that I want to share, always have it as far as like this right here are signs, from the heavens and letting you know what time it is. All right. At the same time, while you seeing what you getting ready to bear witness and see, you seeing these birds flying around. You got to acknowledge what type of birds they are, and these birds that are flying around this object, right? You gonna hear the guy talking, all right? But the main part where I want to stand at is understanding that these birds, which are really crows, crows are usually symbolic for death. You know what I'm saying? Crows are really symbolic for death. And, another thing too, when you look at this too, I do see a hope and a sign, as far as us as, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's, Bashem Rakakadash's people, Yahweh's people, we got salvation. Salvation is close. Now, many of us are not going to make it. I know many of us are hoping, like even I myself, hoping we make it. But just out of faith throughout the signs and different things that we're being able to acquire, and accumulate, with understanding as the Spirit is leading us, is what gets us not so much to exalt ourselves, but where that hope is standing in, like, all of what I bear witness to, as far as like seeing, and, gathering understanding on is enough that pleases the Heavenly Father, when it comes down to being attentive to what He is establishing and what He is doing. Because, literally, us who are being aware is not so much as being like, afraid of what actually is getting ready to take place, because we know before anything that is going to be of peace, war has to be established. And we know, according to Revelations, the real war is when all the kings of the earth are going to come together and they're going to make war with Yahushai and the angels, within the heavens. You see, and you can partially, see all of that going on right now today. But there's a lot of things being disguised in a way to make you to think what they want you to be thinking inside the box. But in reality, Sleazy E, his kingdom is falling, and in the midst of his kingdom falling, he can't deny the inevitable. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. and all the other nations are going, you know, right along with him, and, you know, who have been contributing and building in this kingdom. Their kingdoms as well is going to be destroyed and broken down, you know. And, you know, Israel is the one that's coming up, you know, the Israelites, you know. But let me get this video on.
Display of an aerial phenomenon in regards to crows possibly interacting with some kind of UFO, a magnetic field that attracts the birds in a flock surrounding this unusual object. Is this maybe just a balloon floating away? I would see why the crows would have no reason to.
If y'all could see that, right, plain and clear. You see like a balloon-like thing is there, and all the crows are flying around it, and they're gravitating towards it. You know, they ain't touching it, but they're gravitating towards that field, the magnetism of that field. And the thing that comes to me is like, you know, the technology that is here on the face of the earth is only a fraction to what the Heavenly Father, you know, has as far as technology. You know what I mean? It's far advanced and far beyond, you know, our own comprehension. And, you know, at the same time, you got to think about it, you know, in Sleazy E's kingdom and every other kingdom on the face of the earth, you got to think to yourself, how did they accumulate the knowledge that they have to create the things that they do have? You see, when you think about that, it shows you how the Heavenly Father himself, you know, he's the one that bestowed those things, you know, and by him bestowing those things onto them is to fulfill the end time prophecies, because he already know the hearts of man. Okay, inside what is it, Jeremiah chapter 17:9, when he said, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? You see? So it shows you right there off of the back, like man himself could not possibly understand his own heart. You know, he could try, but he can't understand it completely. That's why we alone, you know, just by saying that alone, that should be enough to humble us and to make us to submit to the mighty hand of, you know, a Yahweh, you know, the Heavenly Father. But let me go to it. I want to pull out a witness. All right. Yeah, that's terrible. Now, I wanted to share this. Let me see. I'm saying, you got Psalms 45:4. It's saying, and in thy majesty ride prosperity, right? Because of truth and meekness and righteousness, and thy right hand shall teach thee terrible things. All right. You could tell right there off of the back, you know, just all like I take that as in like Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying, in his return. Because remember, he said, if you look at it, he said, and in thy majesty ride prosperity, right? Because of truth. And remember what was going to be on his thigh, you know what I'm saying, and what is written. And then it said, and meekness. Remember in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 5, when he said, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. You see? So it's showing you, like the one who's going to inherit the earth is the one who's operating in that meekness. And who who can operate in a greater way when it comes down to meekness than Yahweh Shai? You know what I'm saying? We are actually inspired, you know, by what Yahweh Shai and the other prophets have been carrying themselves on and doing, you know, to keep our people, you know, in a place of remembrance. And when it comes down to keeping the Heavenly Father's commandments, all right? But he said meekness and righteousness, and thy right hand shall teach thee terrible things, right? Because that right hand is symbolic for mercy. You see? So if you fall in the right hand of the Heavenly Father, and all of what he's establishing, right? Right there off of the back is enough to, you know, to give you an assurity on things going to be, you know, you good. You know, Psalms 47:2. For the Lord Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. You see, he's a great king over all the earth, and he's terrible. You see. He's dreadful, he's terrible in his ways, like, and I'm not saying it in a way like how the world will put the word terrible. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting it in a way as far as like, look, you better know what it means to fear the Lord. And all of what you bear witness to is in what you also seen in that video. You know, that's something that's small to him. You know what I mean? He if them birds are attracted to that, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta think. He said them birds are attracted to the magnetism of that field, right? Really think about what's getting ready to take place. Something is getting ready to take place that's going to be beyond your own comprehension. And Esau, I mean Sleazy E and all the other nations, they know this too. But they still, you know, through their pride, they're still going to make it for themselves to be like, you know what, we going to fight. You know what I mean? They basically fighting a losing battle. They know they're going to lose. But it's okay, because we who are in this faith, we know they're going to lose, right? But that's how it is. You know, it's going to be displayed out amongst those who may not believe. You know what I'm saying? Who may believe, but they just need some assurance. You know what I'm saying? They just need, you know, at that moment. Everybody operate in a different level when it comes down to this faith. Even Thomas himself, Thomas the doubter, you know what I'm saying? Thomas himself, he needed some assurance, you know, on Yahweh Shai's resurrection. You know, he didn't get no, he didn't, oh, you don't believe I resurrected? Oh, you done. Like, it was just, okay, let me bring more to you. Why? Because his heart was in the right place when it came down to, you know, tending to these matters and understanding and what the Heavenly Father was establishing, you know, for us as his people. It just was in a way as in like unbelievable in some ways, you know. But y'all get where I'm going at with this. Let's pull out another witness. All right. He says, say unto Yahweh, how terrible art thou in thy works. You see? Through the greatness of thy power shall thy enemies submit themselves unto thee. You see, the enemies are going to submit themselves to the power of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem Rakah Kadash. It ain't nothing in what they may have within themselves to do to stop what the Heavenly Father is getting ready to take place in doing. He already put that spirit on them, and they're already drunken with that spirit. They're drunken with that spirit, and they already, you know, going all the way out. You know, they're going all the way out when it comes down to that spirit. You see? But, you know, it is what it is, and that's where the Heavenly Father is standing at with everything. And he's going to use them as an example, like he used Pharaoh. When he used Pharaoh as an example. He hardened Pharaoh's heart, and, you know, by putting that spirit on him, and then turned around and destroyed him. You can see? Showing you how the Heavenly Father can show off. He can show off and show out, because that's just who he is, you know. And that's a mighty thing, and that brings joy to my heart, because that gives me, you know, that feeling of knowing, like, yo, like when the Heavenly Father got his right hand on you and he's covering you, oh, you good. You know what I'm saying? You beyond good. You know, and that's a mighty thing. All right, so the enemy's going to submit anyway. You know, especially during those times when it comes down to Sleazy E and all the other nations, right? When they get possessed, you know what I mean, by the Israelites, you know, meaning they're going to be taken as captives, you know, meaning the table's going to turn on them. And the overall picture, when you look at that, you know, it's showing you how the Heavenly Father, you know, he's not playing. Look at this. Psalm 66:5. It say, come and see the works of Yahweh. He is terrible in his doing towards the children of men. You see, going right back to Pharaoh. Look what he did to him, man. He turned around and raised him up, hardened his heart, had him to act out and make it to himself to show off. And then about Pharaoh showing off and showing out, the Heavenly Father had to show him that his show off and show out is far more greater. Like he raised him up to be a man that's of the riches and the wealth, and he had everything. He had the earth and those who were in it during that time and subdued under him. And then and not realizing the Heavenly Father allowed that to happen. He allowed that to happen to build him up, just to break him down. Psalm 68:35. O Yahweh, right? Thou art terrible out of thy holy place. The God of Israel, you see, is he that giveth strength and power unto his people. Blessed be I was about to say our God, because it really is our God. But he said, blessed be God. You know what I'm saying? That's just beautiful right there. He said terrible out of thy holy place, meaning he don't even have to get off his throne. He just speak it happens. He say, oh, do this, do that. Like he just control everything. And Yahweh Shah right there being able to break everything down, you know, by being that commandment unto the angels of the heavens and unto those who are there on the earth and the sea. Okay, verse Psalm 76:12, right? He shall cut off the spirit of princes, right? He is terrible to the kings of the earth. Meaning those spirits of princes, like the princes, the principalities, the darker forces, the spiritual wickedness, and all those things in high places, he cuts them spirits off. He tuned them out. And when he tuned those type of spirits out, the kings of the earth, they become feeble. You see? Because the principalities, the darker forces, and all of that stuff, that's on the left-hand side. You know what I'm saying? The left-hand side of Yahweh. You know? And basically like that spirit, that's like if he take the right hand off of you, you know what I'm saying, that hedge of protection, that means you're going to get devoured by that left hand. But when he take that left hand, right, when he cut that left hand off, right, as far as like, well, I don't want to say he cut it off, but he cut off the spirits of princes, like those spirits that'll be set upon those who are on that left hand side, you know. So it goes in both perspectives. It can be the left hand coming off of you because of the mercies of the Heavenly Father, or the left hand coming off of you to not, like many people are empowered by Hashatan. They're empowered by Satan, which makes them to become devil's advocates. You see? But when they ain't got that spirit set on them that they've been dependent on for so long, they become lost and they end up getting destroyed by the righteous. Psalms 99:3. Let them praise thy great and terrible name, for it is holy. That's right. Psalms 106:22. Wondrous works in the land of Ham, and terrible things by the Red Sea. Straight like that. You see what had happened to Pharaoh, you know what I'm saying, and all of his men when they got destroyed. Psalms 145:6. I'm gonna stop right there. He said, and men shall speak of the might of thy terrible acts. You see, like that spaceship or whatever it was that was in the skies with the gravitational pull, and had all the birds flying around it, all the crows flying around it. And crows, like I told y'all, is symbolic for death. Okay? It's terrible acts. And I will declare thy greatness. Like what I'm doing at the very moment, and many of the brothers are doing. We're declaring the great acts of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Rekakadash. you know, through these prophecies, throughout our way of living, throughout all of what is, you know, what the Heavenly Father is bestowing on us with, you know, and giving us that understanding where we're being able to share the knowledge and wisdom. You see? So I'm going to just leave it right there. Call all Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Shalom.